So, here's the infamous car. I recognize that hood. Just like the Corvette Punisher emblem that you have going on that thing.
Yeah, it is. So for everybody just joining, thank you for joining us again for a live detailing class here in sunny Stuart, Florida.
Well, it's kind of sunny out there. It's kind of raining.
Yep.
But before we get going, got some goodies from our friends over at Lake Country today.
Yeah.
And they're giving away some products, so stay tuned towards the end of the video and I'll tell you all how you guys can win this.
That's a nice collection, buffing pads and a backing plate.
Yeah, I got, what is it, 6 pads, for all their different pads for their 5.5 inch smart pad. So you have everything from compounding to waxing, and you also got a matching backing plate.
Sometimes I think those pads are smarter than me.
Well, that's not saying much, I'm just gonna say. I'm not the one that was, eating hot sauce. So, with that being said, I'm going to march back over this way because we're going to get into what's under this hood. And he's got some really cool tips and tricks and everything that I guarantee you guys are going to want to take out a piece of paper and write this down. Or if not, bookmark this video and come back later on. But if you have any questions, comments, post them down in the comments down below. Then as we're going, I'll either get to the question right away, or if not, if we're going really good and on a good pace, then we'll answer all your questions at the end of the video.
That works for me.
You ready? I'm going to take actually, I'm just going to go put these over here in my little stash. And
it'll be funny if you win the contest.
Yeah, here, I'll even help you.
Oh,
Put that up and go around on the other side.
Yeah. Okay, hey, thanks for joining us again. It's a lot of fun doing these live detailing classes. One of the things I like about them is the spontaneity. That means, A, we're probably going to make mistakes. It's live on camera.
It's definitely not scripted.
It's not scripted. It also means there's no mock-up. Everything we do is real world, and sometimes we do make mistakes just in the order of things that should be done. We did that recently when we did a prep wash on that Mustang.
Yeah, we kind of forgot.
We dried it off and we forgot we were going to clay it while it was still wet. So things like that just happen. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also share with your friends if you want to see more of these live videos. Today we're going to talk about two or three different topics. One of them is cosmetic engine detailing basically underneath the hood, and how to do this without running water. Now, for those of you that want to see how to do it with running water, we already have that video on the Autogeek YouTube channel, and I'm pretty sure we're going to make a new one here in the near future as soon as we get an engine that is grimy enough to show the techniques for when you need to use an engine degreaser with running water, and of course all the tools. But this Corvette is actually fairly clean, and here's the deal. This is when you want to detail the engine, when you don't have to do all that work. And there's two groups of people basically that are interested in this video. You either own the car, so it's yours, you're an enthusiast, or B, you're detailing for dollars and you're gonna do this for your customer. So I'm gonna go over tips and techniques and some information that applies to both groups of people, the enthusiast and the detailer doing this for money. We're also going to cover how to take care of these under the hood heat insulation mats. They're also sound deadening mats. So they serve two functions. They keep the temperature of the engine away from the paint so your paint doesn't get destroyed so quickly. They also have a sound deadening effect as they absorb the motor noise and the highway noise and dissipate it so you don't hear it inside the cabin. And some of these are, and all cars are different. I mean, some cars don't even have this. You just have a painted underside. And
go back to the old classic cars.
Yeah, like all my old Chevy trucks were like that. They just had paint, so that's pretty easy to take care of. Some of these, have a hard surface. Some of these are like this. It has this textured cloth. And if you're not careful, you're going to tear this stuff up. Then the only solution to that is to replace it. This one here is lightly dirty. It does have a water stain down here.
Let me go ahead and zoom in.
So I'll show you how to take care of that. And then I'll show you something. See that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I'll show you something I show in all my detailing classes as a way to protect that. And sometimes it's, some people when I show this to them, they're going, oh, I never thought about that. Well, I didn't either until I thought about it. So if you're like me and you're just now thinking about it, then hey, we're all lucky. Also, there's a lot of plastic on the inside of these things.
There's tons of plastic.
Tons of plastic.
I mean, there's no longer like polished aluminum or chrome anymore.
It's not like your traditional 66 Chevy, Chevelle, or 66 Ford Mustang or 72 Dodge Demon, where you pop the hood and you see an air cleaner and valve covers, and water pumps, alternators, things like that. So they've changed a lot, and because they're mostly plastic, this is where in cosmetic engine detailing, you're gonna use something to clean it and something to dress it. And you know, here at Autogeek, we probably carry 100 different products that would all work equally great at this. I'm going to show you some stuff that I use, but you know, I also mix it up. I have a joke. It's an ongoing joke. And the joke is, someone says, Mike, what's the best detailer? What's your favorite glass cleaner? I always say, well, it's the closest thing to my hand.
True story.
You know? So, I mean, this is right here by my hand. Now, I might like one better, but if it's way over there, I have to walk over there to get it. So all of a sudden, this becomes my favorite one because it's by me. It's because I'm lazy by nature. A lot of people think I'm very OCD. And that's absolutely wrong. I'm always trying to find a way to do things quicker, faster, easier, while maintaining professional results.
I think everybody's trying to do that.
Yeah, so anyway, so there's a couple ways to approach this. One is, first, before we can get started, Yancy, I have a lot of articles written, and sometimes I see people that'll lift them and share them without giving due credit. So one of the things I never do is I never steal other guys' stuff. So probably about 6 or 7 years ago, a good friend of mine told me, he gave me this term and this technique called cosmetic engine detailing. Now, I put a twist to it and I spell it with a K. So cosmetic instead of with the letter C, I use the letter K.
Just to your Kardashian
to change it up. That's right, change it up. But I got this from Mel Craig, and he's a guy that's been teaching detailing classes as long as I have. He's out there in Southern California. He's a professional detailer. He's an all-around good guy. And I just want to give a shout out to Mel Craig and give due credit where I got credit, or where I learned this from.
Hey, you know, more people need to do that.
Yeah, I learned the term cosmetic engine detailing from Mel Craig, and then I got my own twist to things, and of course I teach this in my classes. Now, there's another way of cleaning an engine that's called wet wash. Okay, that's when you're going to use a pressure washer or some form of running water, like a hose with a garden sprayer. And again, we've got that video up on the YouTube, but let's make a fresh one, Yancy.
You know, we got plenty of time.
Okay, so when we talk about doing the engine compartment, everything in here, the first thing you want to do is you want to do this before you do the outside of the car. This Corvette is here for exterior paint correction. I'm going to actually use a product from P&S Cells to work on the paint, but before I do that, I want to take care of the engine. And the reason why is because when I'm working on here, I could get splatter from the chemicals, from whatever I'm using onto the paint, then I got to come back and wipe it off, then I can mar it. So I don't want to make the paint perfect until I'm done with the engine.
Are you saying you're messy?
I am messy. There's already splatter dots up here on the windshield from when I buffed out the vinyl graphics. And if you didn't see that video, I got a video that I showed how to take and machine polish vinyl graphics to remove swirls and scratches. It's up on, name the places you can
It's on the Autogeek Facebook page, your Facebook page, and also your Instagram.
Okay, so it's a fun video. It's real short, shows you how to fix that, and it's a common problem nowadays. But the first thing you want to do is you want to tackle the underneath of the hood. Okay, because you don't want to clean the bottom of the hood and then work on the underneath and drip any kind of thing down on the things you already cleaned. You could cover it up, but it's just as a normal practice, especially when you're doing the wet wash engine detail. It's better to start up high and work your way down.
Same philosophy as washing a car. Start at the top and work
exactly.
your way down.
Now, again, this thing is not overly dirty. And again, this is where if you're the car owner, this is when you want to get in here and do this, when you don't have to do a ton of work. It's engine detailing, by the way, in case you've never done it, is not really fun. There's no glory in it. So it's easier to do PM, preventative maintenance.
Okay, time out right there. Now this would be perfect for, since we're talking preventative, like if you just bought a brand new car or a new used car where it's all cleaned up, this is when you want to do this type of detailing. Engine detailing opposed to the water detailing where it's all oily and gunky. And
oh yeah, it's easier to clean something that's clean than it is to clean something that's dirty.
That's true.
You know, and we kind of started this and this is kind of a behind the scenes dialogue that me and Yancy have. Sometimes people ask us, how do you choose your topics for your classes? Well, we put into practice something I always do. I use what I have. I had this car here, so we're going to use it. And when I popped the hood and I saw this, I know this is a topic that a lot of people don't know a lot about. And this all started out because I got one product I wanted to show on here. Then we kind of evolved it to show you a whole bunch of stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of different things you can learn. But the first thing I want to show you is there's a fresh air exhaust chamber here. And I'm not going to be using a lot of water. But if I was going to use a lot of water, I just want to take and shove some towels down in here.
Just to keep the gunk out of there?
Yeah, and it's not so much to keep the water out there. This can all get wet, but if I was doing some washing, say this was really greasy and I had stuff falling down, I don't want it to get in there because it gets really complicated to get it out. I have an exposed air cleaner over here, so same thing. I'm going to cover this up. Any gunk that falls on there, it's not going to get into it. And just to be super cautious, here's the alternator. You know, all these things can get wet, but I'm talking about gunk. You know, it's not water. Water won't hurt it, but the gunk will. And right here, I can see the copper windings, you know, inside the motor. So I just want to keep it clean.
Well, I'm glad you can see it because I can't see it from this side. And believe me, people, I am working on getting us a wireless system so that way I can get up in close. I'm just
okay, so I covered up the basics. And now I'm going to show you something else. This is really cool.
Oh, you need help with that?
Yeah, these are called the Autogeek cover-up towels, and because they're named that because we cover things up. And I use these all the time. Like if I'm gonna detail a car that has a canvas top, and I clean the top first and I protect it, then I'm gonna buff out the paint. I don't want to get any splatter on the top, so I use it for that. So a couple months ago, I had a car down here with a Hillborn injection system sticking out of the hood. Actually, we can throw this all the way across the fenders. It don't matter. I haven't done the paint yet. But it's just to cover things up. We did remember that Rupes video when it had that 37.4 with the blower on it.
Yep.
You know,
I have to clean more things than you have to.
Yeah, so it's just to cover things up. And actually, I'll tell you the history. If you go up to Google and you type in the beach towel tip and add my name, Mike Phillips, this came from back when I used to detail cars in Oregon. I'd always cover the windshield up with a beach towel. And someone in management said, "What's Mike always putting that beach towel on them cars for?" And one of my coworkers said, "Well, he's always covering things up with it." And he goes, "Well, we don't sell beach towels. Get us a cover-up towel." And that's where this thing came from.
That was a pirate one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was a pirate flag on a beach towel. And in my first two how-to books, you'll see pictures of that. But that's where this evolved from. Okay, so I've covered this area up here. And the first thing I want to do is I just want to take and blow this. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. There's the cheap way.
Yeah, and all the products that, as you blow our cover-up towels off.
Trying to pull this over here. There's a cheap way. This is a $100 tool. If you do not have an air compressor,
hold on 1 sec.
buy one, okay? Every time I teach a detailing class, one of the things I do when I show this tool is I have everybody hold their hand out as I turn it on and let them feel how much power comes out of this micro tool. It's got a foam filter down here, so the air coming out is clean. And even though it does not heat it up, the motor gets warm, so the air coming out is warm. And that can aid in drying.
That's what I use to dry my motorcycle, that little tool right there.
That's a great tool. I use it for all kinds of things. In fact, one of these days I want to make a top 10 favorite tool list, and this will be on it. $100, and again, if you do not have a normal air compressor, you know, to get a good air compressor, you're looking at, you know, $1,000. So here's a way to get compressed air for $100. Real quickly, we sell these here at Autogeek.
Yeah, all the products that we're showing here, I think I got them all. They're listed in the description of this video. Except for that, because you switched that out on me at the last minute.
So this is called the Pro Lock extension cord. This is the 25-footer. It's a 12-gauge heavy-duty cord. But the cool thing about it is it locks your plug-in into itself, the male end and the female end, so it won't come unplugged.
No more tying cables.
And it's just real, yeah, it just doesn't come undone. And it's real handy. And every time I show this, someone says, "Where can I get that?" Well, you can get that at Autogeek.com.
Sorry, that was the one product that he switched out without my knowing.
Okay, so just quickly going to blow this off. And again, there's nothing there, but I always show process. Process is blow everything out. You also blow out the engine compartment too. So now that's the cheap way to do it. That's going to come in handy later on when we're trying to get rid of excess liquids in the engine compartment. Here's the expensive way. You know, air compressor. To run any air tool, usually you need an air compressor that has around a 60-gallon reserve air tank. And that means it's going to be about as tall as me if it's a vertical tank, and if it's a horizontal tank, the same idea. But you're talking, upwards of $1,000 for the entry-level model. So by all means, get an air compressor. We got one.
No, there's 1,000,001 uses for an air compressor.
Yeah, but if you don't have one, the $100 Sidekick is a good way to get forced air.
Now talk about the tool you have right there.
This is the Tornador Air Blowout Gun.
And ours are white. That's a black.
I always show this, and to my knowledge, it's not available. The inventor at Tornador is Dennis Den. He gave this to me about 3 or 4 years ago, and I love this tool. I use it. It's also another top 10 tool. The only one that I think you can buy right now is the Tornador White.
I think that's all that we have on the site.
Yeah, and the difference is the Tornador White has a nylon tube on the inside of it, and when you spin it, of course, it creates that tornado effect. This one's got a steel tube with a bearing on there, and this sucker just speeds up and creates a
massive tornado, an F5
hurricane. This is hurricane level. Anyway, so that's how this thing works, and one of these days the good folks over there at Tornador will have these available to the public. But since I have it, I use it. The white one works almost as good, but this one works better. Anyway, so you would just take that and then blow everything out with that thing. So that's the first thing you want to do. Now the next thing you want to do is this staining that's underneath here is you don't actually want to get aggressive with this material. So we always talk in the detailing world about using the least aggressive process to get the job done. So for that, I'm just going to take a clean utility towel, and I'm going to walk over here and get some water real quick so camera can follow me. And instead of using a chemical, I'm going to use just normal water.
Sometimes you got to work from least to most. Yeah. And I just thought you were thirsty.
So I'm going to dampen this towel. And then I'm going to hold the water dampened towel against the stain and just lightly rub it. That's it. Just kind of blot it out of there.
All right, I'm going in on the stain.
And I'm trying to pour water into a towel.
All right, I'm up closer on the stain right now.
Good Lord, it won't absorb water.
It's microfiber. It says no.
Okay. Okay, so here's some water. Reach in here, and I don't start rubbing first. In fact, what I do is I just want to press it in there and get it wet.
Transfer the water over to it.
Water is a universal solvent. Okay.
Well, it formed the Grand Canyon.
That's an abrasive.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But if your car's got mud on the side and you spray with water, the water will dissolve the mud. So it's a universal solvent. Okay. So now I got that wet.
Just lightly
rub lightly, and that stain is visually gone to me. I do not see it.
I just see where you're up on the upper, the flat, different plane.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how I would attack that. Now, doing that, I can also see that I pulled off some dirt and some grime on here. You probably can't capture that on camera.
I can.
So it's
right there.
Lightly dirty. Then just to give it a light cleaning, then it's the same idea. You can just use a water dampened towel, or one of my favorite products for general purpose cleaning is the Sonax glass cleaner, or whatever brand you like. The thing about a good glass cleaner is, think about this. When you're cleaning glass, it leaves a streak-free finish. What's that mean?
Nothing is left behind.
Nothing's left behind, okay?
I think you and Dimitri love that product. He uses that for everything.
Okay, so just dampened it with a light glass cleaner. But the thing about a glass cleaner is, and specifically this one, is it excels at cleaning two really hard to clean things out of the inside of your car on glass. Vinyl fog, smoker's film. So whatever the magic voodoo juice is in here that has the ability to dissolve oily things inside the car can dissolve oily things on the underneath of the hood.
Magic voodoo juice.
Magic voodoo juice. Okay, so then for this, just a light.
You're not scrubbing at all, hardly any pressure.
Just wiping it, you know.
Like you'd be wiping off a wax, pretty much.
Yeah. And you can see there's just some brownish coming off there, just some engine grime. And most of this dirt, because this is in good shape, it is just on the surface. It's not like it's embedded into the weave here.
This hasn't been neglected, let's put it that way. And your brother hasn't blown any heads or anything like that and shot oil all over the place, so that's a good thing. All right at the bottom of the Corvette logo on my side, you have a little bit more of that staining going on. Oh, right there.
Oh yeah, I can't reach that far.
Oh, come on, go gadget arms.
So now let's take a look.
All right. Yes, you did remove some dirt.
Yeah, some dirt on there. So it doesn't really look dirty, but of course there is some dirt on there. Yancy, would you be able to come over and get the other side?
Yep. That I can do for you.
There you go. And blot the stain first a little bit. Just kind of put a little pressure on it. Let it absorb in there and do its little magic.
It's voodoo that it does.
The voodoo magic.
If you want to go ahead and discuss what we're going to be doing next.
Well, what I'm going to do next is, because this has some plastic under here, I'm going to clean it also. And I'm showing the glass cleaner there, but you know, this is where you'd use an all-purpose cleaner. This is one of my favorites. This is the 303 product. I got a story that goes with this, and it's what convinced me what a great cleaner it was. But this is their multi-surface, that means all-purpose cleaner. And again, I'm just gonna put some on my towel. And if you hang tight, I'll let you get the other side.
Oh, here, let me zoom in on that real quick.
Okay.
What you're doing. That way they can just kind of see. Then I'll come back and I'll kick out the other side. All right. All right, go ahead. I'm in there. Now, does that leave any protection behind, or is it just a cleaner?
Pure cleaner. Pure cleaner. Says it's safe on everything. I actually had the chemist, one of the chemists from 303, take my 3-day or my 2-day roadshow class. You know, so look, pulling some dirt, not a lot, but some dirt.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to put a dressing on there, so I want to clean it first.
Okay, I'm going to come in and I'll get the other side.
There you go. Anyway, so, you know, if you're looking for two really versatile products, I mean, you can use this all over, inside, outside the car.
And they're safe.
Also in the house, your mirrors is a great product. I use it for a waterless wash. Heck, I use it for a rinseless wash. I dump it into a bucket of water because it's got the ability to break down oily films that can remove road film on the outside of the car. And then the 303 product. Heck, a bottle of this stays in my office. It's my tennis shoe cleaner.
I wonder why you had super white sneakers.
Okay, so now we've got that all wiped clean. And before we're done, we're going to do some other things with this, but we're going to move to the engine compartment first. But another question would be is how would you take care of the paint on the underneath of here?
Mike, how would you take care of the paint on under here?
Well, you got to remember the paint on the underside of the hood is not exposed to the rain, it's not exposed to the sun, none of the chemical contamination that's in the air. So it really stays fairly clean on its own. But you know, of course, if you're going to pop the hood and you want it to be clean, then here's a great example of when you'd use a one-step cleaner wax, or an AIO. And that's a good time to use the Blackfire one-step. So let me show you that. Now, here's two ways you can apply that. Our friends over at Mother's, they have these really nice microfiber applicator pads.
And again, these are more things that you added on that I didn't have in.
It's okay. And then this is the Carand, and it comes with a little plastic handle that helps you to hold it. But you know, lots of these options on the market. I'm just showing you two. I will show you how I would do this by hand with the Mother's product.
Why don't you pull your cart over a little bit, because you're like blocked by the hood.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay. Shake, shake, shake. I use this stuff on everything. It's mostly because it uses good abrasive technology. I am really picky about the products I use on car paint. If it won't make black paint look good, I won't use it at all. I won't show it, won't use it, won't teach it, none of that stuff. Okay, so I just rub some of it on there, and then, again, real simple, just come in here and just hand apply this.
Oh, everybody take a screenshot now. Mike is working by hand on paint.
Not for long.
That's why I'm saying take a screenshot now, because it isn't going to last.
Okay, so real quick, real simple, this stuff dries fast.
Wipe off is super easy.
Super easy. Any grime, in fact, there's a bunch of staining right in here.
Here, let me-
something.
Point it out for me.
Right along here, along the edge, there's a white stain and a green stain of some sort. Some dots in there.
Yeah, Jerry O'Brien, dude, I love you. That was a great idea. He told me a laser pointer would be awesome for this. So I am going to get a laser pointer, and I'm going to shoot lasers at you, Mike.
Blind me?
No, I won't shoot them at you. I'll shoot them at where you're pointing.
Okay, so that...
Great idea, Jerry. Thank you.
Okay, pretty simple. I mean, most of us watching this video own a hand.
Well, I hope so.
So something you can all do. There's a part of me that always thinks like this, you know, at Autogeek we don't sell hands, we sell tools. I love this tool. This is the Pixie, the PXE80.
Then you could also use the Rupes Nano. Or
Rupes Nano, Griot's Grind, anything, but because this is small, lightweight, it's able to maintain pad rotation in orbital mode, in the 12mm mode, and that's the key. Oh, and I have a tip for that.
A tip for what?
A tip for the pad rotation.
Don't press like you.
Okay, so I'm just going to take and apply some of that by pressing it in here because I don't want to sling this all over the place. But anytime you're using a free spinning tool, so not gear driven, free spinning, you need to be able to monitor pad rotation. And I used to teach people all the time to put a mark on the backing plate, and that works sometimes, but a lot of times the backing plate is black. So I always do this. You'll see a lot of the pads we use, the pads we use out in the garage, you'll see these big old black marks all over on the sides of the pads. And that's just either for me or the people that take my class, the students, so they're able to easily monitor pad rotation as they're working. And because if the pad's not rotating, you're not doing anything. You're just wasting your time. So then I have this on speed 2. Okay, so then I can just come up here and I can knock all this out by hand.
And we're correcting and protecting all in one step. That's the best thing about it. You don't have to go over this twice.
And you don't want to get this on the mat. That will stain it. There we go. Up, getting some stain in there.
Wow! Welcome to the world of live video.
Well, that's basically the idea. Where are my towels out here?
How does Mike not get swing even with my narrow swings? Well, there you go, Michael.
After that dries, then you come in here and wipe it off. But that's, so by hand or by machine, but you do want to watch for that splatter. But that's how you take care of the paint underneath the hood.
Did you get rid of that staining that was there?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yep, it's all gone. See it, right?
So simple cleaner wax. I mean, yes, you could use a ceramic coating on the underneath of your hood, which means you could do the paint correction, you could chemically strip it, apply the coating. You
can do whatever you want.
Process. But you know what? The thing's never going to be exposed to the sun. About the most you would really gain out of an elaborate process like that is that glassy look, which is admirable for the underneath of your hood.
If you want to go for it, go for it.
Yeah.
Hey, it might be points at a car show. You never know.
Yeah, it could be. But the thing about that, though, if you think about it, is actually a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times the paint on the underneath of the hood is not super glossy. It has a little bit of a dry spray look to it.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay. See all these white spots up here? Can you see that there, Yancy?
Hold on, I'm trying to get where I can see my monitor and see that. Oh yeah, the water spotting?
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, the other side it's all gone because I hand applied the wax up there, but just because when I'm going to give this back to my brother-in-law, I want to make sure it, looks right. I wrote a brand new article today. Brand new.
How my brother-in-law keeps using me to do his detailing for free?
No.
By Mike Phillips?
No, actually, it's called The Professional Detailer's Oath. And I borrowed it from Hippocrates.
Oh, wow, you went way old school.
Yeah, from an ancient Greek philosopher. And a lot of people know the quote from doctors. Doctors usually take the oath called first do no harm.
Yes.
And I looked all that up and got the history on that. And I thought, as detailers, we should have that same oath because whenever we're working on on someone's car, we should be doing things in a way that doesn't cause any damage. And that goes kind of back to use the least aggressive product to get the job done. And so I wrote that as an article, and it's kind of always been my philosophy. I'm sure it's your philosophy too. But I never seen an article for it, so that's one of the things I do is I like to generate content.
I got a good question right here. Rick Hassmeyer, I think I said your last name right. Actually, let me add you into the broadcast here. I wonder if there'd be much clear on the underhood paint. You'd think that they'd probably put the same amount to clear on.
You know who would be good at answering that is someone that works at the assembly line level.
Oh, true.
I know our good friend Rod Kraft has done that at Grill's Garage. He's worked with assembly lines. I think Jason Rose from Rupes has. And but to go through, there we go. And I'll tell you now, after I've applied that and I'm wiping it, now it's real slippery. Okay, wasn't before. So whatever's on there's been,
removed,
pulled off, and it's now protected. And you don't need like massive protection underneath the hood just because it's not exposed to the elements. But it does add to the overall appearance.
It looks shinier
already. Okay, so wax that. Now, because I got this a little bit wet, I want to let this sit here and dry. So while it's sitting here drying, I'm going to do the next step on here. And I'm just
thought you were going to sing a country song or something.
No, you don't want that.
Muskrat Love, come on.
That's not country.
That's Captain Tennille. It's all for
Okay,
you.
so cosmetic engine detailing.
All right, break it down.
In the real world, you know, if you get good at this, and again, engine shouldn't be too dirty. I've done some really dirty engines before, but it should take about 15 minutes. And there's a couple ways to skin this cat. So one is because most of this area in here is plastic, you can use a conventional rubber vinyl protectant, but you want to look for one that says cleaner conditioner. Okay, so it's going to clean vinyl, condition it, and protect it in one step.
Now, you don't want something that's going to dry out all that rubber.
No, but you know, I'm talking about Armor All type products, okay? One that I used for years that I really liked was Meguiar's M40. It says right on it, cleaner conditioner. So the cleaning aspect will clean the road grime that builds up on the plastic parts. The conditioner will make it look good, and then whatever the protection, you know, agent is, that'll do that part of it too. But you could use that approach. That's a one-step approach. Spray it in, agitate it, wipe it off, you're done. The other approach is to use just break it down, have a dedicated cleaning step and a dedicated protection or visual appearance step, making it look good. I'm going to show you the second step just because I want to show you one of my favorite products, and it's for the interior of your car. It's called the Pinnacle Black Label Leather Vinyl Coating. And I really like this on the leather seats in our cars, and it also works great on any plastic or vinyl.
I use it on my dash and stuff in my car.
Exactly, use it anywhere. So again, kind of thinking outside of the box, even though it's primarily for like seats, it works great on engine plastic. It makes it look good. It leaves a non-sticky, non-tacky surface that won't attract dust. And it's also important that this is a product that I always teach people, you want to find something that you like and you will use over and over again or use often. If you like a product, that means you usually like how it applies, you like how it wipes off, and then you like how it looks. If you don't like it, you're not going to use it. So this is a really nice product. And kind of circling back to car seats, we had this conversation on the forum just this week. People talking about putting a leather coating, an actual coating. This is called a coating, but it's not like a ceramic coating. But what you don't want to do for leather seats is you don't want to try to find a product that's like one and done, because every time you get into the car, your cloth, your skin is going to abrade that surface and wear whatever you put on, wear it off. So instead of trying to look for a one and done product, look for something that you like and you'll use often. And for the high wear areas, which is the driver's seat, just apply it once a month. It doesn't take that long if you're just doing the one seat. Do the whole interior so it's done, and then just hit the high wear areas. Yancy, when I drove to work this morning, I was looking to see how many people were in a car. Guess how many people I saw?
How many work?
One.
One?
Yeah, the driver.
Right?
Yeah.
Stuart does
American,
not carpool.
American culture is, you know, is...
Unless you're in the big cities, everywhere else is just one. I do have a question for you, though. While you were talking, it made me think about that. How did you come across figuring out to use that under the hood? Is it just one of those things that was closest to your hand? You're like, hey, well, hell, let's give it a try? Or you were actually meant to, let's test this and see if it works here?
No, it started a few years ago. My wife had a Mercedes-Benz SL
I remember the
550.
Yep.
And when you put the top down, there's all this plastic cladding that kind of covered up from the roll bar and the headrest to where the trunk lids slam down, black plastic.
Right.
And I was already putting it on the leather seats, so I just kind of smeared it across the plastic. And I go, wow, look how nice that looks. I did the whole thing, then wiped off any excess, and it left it dry and not tacky, not sticky like a dressing would. And it held up really well, and it felt good. Like the seats always feel good after I use that product. It has a nice tactical feel. So I started using it on all the surfaces in that convertible.
Okay.
And then, if you ever pop the hood on a Mercedes-Benz, you know, SL550, it's all plastic.
You don't see the engine, you see nothing but
plastic. I took it to the engine department, and it made it look just beautiful. So it's a product that I personally use it, so I always feel comfortable showing other people. Okay, back to the Sonax glass cleaner.
Where are you going?
I'm going to cover the engine compartment with it.
Okay.
But just as important as your cleaner are good brushes. You know, in any video we ever make, I'm always talking about brushes, and this is one of my favorites. This is the Will Woolies And I think it has 7 words to the name. So it's the Will Woolies Boar's Hair Black Wheel Face Brush.
Yep, that was it.
Will Woolies Boar's
Will
Hair
Boar's
Black
Hair
Wheel Face Brush. 8 words in the name of that product. Thanks, Will Woolies. But the reason why is the bristles are too long, but they're not so stiff it's useless or scratchy. They're not so soft and limp that they're useless.
They don't do anything.
So I have wheel and tire brushes that I use this for, interior and engine compartments. Okay, so then here's how you'd use this. Mist this on.
All right, I'm just starting the engine compartment and I can see your hands.
Ready?
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna mist you and capture the mist in
Oh,
the
I'm
air.
capturing. Oh, that's riveting footage right there.
Okay. And I'm gonna give you a
you
brush.
do that side, then I'll do this side.
Okay.
Actually, let me zoom out.
Okay, so
Here,
then
you do your demo, then I'll come in and I'll kick out this side.
yeah, well I have another brush here, but I can't use it for the glass cleaner. I gotta use it for something else.
Okay.
Okay, so then we're just gonna agitate. So again, the
And
glass.
you're not scrubbing hard. You're.
I'm getting the brushes down in there, that's for sure.
But
I'm
I mean, you're not like putting full force.
no, no. And you know, you guys can't see this because it's behind this cap, but it's kind of icky and oily back here.
Okay. Here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit and I'll get that valve cover real quick. If you want to.
Anyway, so look how nice this brush works. It just, I mean, it gets in there. It's not unplugging any of the electrical connections because it's so stiff. It's flexible enough.
Now, wouldn't that be a good tip? Is if you're working on something you're not familiar with it, to take a quick picture just in case.
Well, that would
you
be a
actually
good tip.
unplug something.
Yeah. I don't remember ever doing that myself.
Well,
but-
I'm just saying, you know, there's anything
Oh,
can happen.
I do that when I take cars apart, like you know, motors and transmissions out of cars.
No, I just, you know, I get bored on Saturday and I take my car apart.
Last year about this time, I had a crack in the frame of my monster truck, and I had to pull the motor out and weld up the frame.
I remember that.
And part of pulling the motor out was unconnecting all these vacuum lines, and I took a picture of every single one and where they went because I would have never remembered where they went. So yeah, sometimes taking a picture is a great idea.
Okay, I think I got everything over on this side. Let me get this down in here. These pages. Okay. You got an extra towel, or do you want me to use that one?
I'm agitating right now. So yeah, you can take that one. Usually I use the fluffy towels. You'll have to grab another one back there because I'm using these other ones. So I'm not always a huge fan of towels that are fluffy because they have a tendency to trap contaminants, and then when you wipe the paint, if you don't know about it, you put a scratch in the paint. So I'm a big fan of flat weave towels. But here's where a fluffy towel is great, is because the fibers, there's enough nap here that they'll push into this,
Here, let me get a closer
this
look at that.
design over this engine cover here and pull out all the gunk we've loosened up. So sometimes having a nap is a good idea or works well for you.
Just little extensions of your fingers. All right. Pull back out a little bit, then I will get in there and kick out this side.
And you know, Yancy, this is
Yes.
something you can spend as much time as you want to on this. I mean, it's intricate enough inside here that
You could be here all day. with
Well,
me.
yeah. Well, you could do something like this. Go nuts with some multiple different brushes, you know, and just same thing. Spray the glass cleaner in there, and agitate into these little tight areas, and then come back and actually you can take the brush and take your towel and shove it in there and use the bristles to get out the stuff you've loosened, just with the bristles pushing against the towel. So you can spend as much time as you want to on this. But here's the deal, if you're doing this for money, of course you want to do a good job, but you don't want to spend all day on it. You want to get in there, knock it out, and I usually aim for 15 minutes and charge $75, you know, 60 to 75 bucks, whatever the market will bear. I was talking to a guy up on YouTube this morning, and after he watched our video and heard how much we suggested to diesel
I saw
cars
that
for,
comment.
yeah, he said, "Wow, I'm way
way
undercharging."
undercharging.
Well, I got news for you. A lot of people are undercharging, and it does take a while to get your prices up to a respectable wage. I like to shoot for $100 an hour myself. That covers the cost of the towels, the tool, wear, pads, chemicals, and a nice profit at the end of the day.
I go 150.
I've got 150 before, but it's hard. People tend to look for someone else when you get to the 150 an hour range. Okay, so, you know, But keep it simple. You know, we use the glass cleaner. Let's come up here and get the fascia around the wiper arms because I'm going to treat that
Let
too.
me, all right,
You got the glass cleaner?
I do.
Spray some down here.
Oh, I got a cramp coming out of my foot.
Here you go. I'll let you have that side for that side. And I have a new product on the market that we're going to share on this gasket here. The gaskets used on cars is a special type of rubber. Do you know what it's called, Yancy?
Something starts with
If
a
you
P.
can guess it correctly, you can have this car.
Whoa. Sorry, PJ. You got to keep your car because I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Let me go to Skynet and I'll tell you.
Oh, so you don't even know.
I can remember. It's called EPDM.
What is it, into funky music?
I don't know. I always have to look it up. But it's a special type of rubber that resists breaking down, obviously, but also from your doors freezing to the car body panels if you live in Alaska.
I used to have to pry my Toyota doors open in the middle of winter.
And the bigger picture is I don't want to get all scientific on how the rubber's made or what's in it, you know, because I don't want to become an engineer. But what it is important is to use a product that's safe for that type of rubber. So our good friends at 303 make a product for that.
And when I sprayed the thing, I got some right there.
I gotcha. By the way, this aluminum cover over here, for I'm guessing is electronic components underneath there.
I think it's a computer.
It's really dull, and I'm just going to take a guess that one step will fix that. I use this stuff on everything, but here's just a little product.
All right.
I guess I should have left a stronger demarcation line that you could show the difference on.
Well, you just...
I'll leave the Corvette
It's a
part
gray.
alone.
I don't think I'm going to be able to see it. It's the angle.
Gotcha.
And trust me, people, I am working on getting us a wireless system here.
Okay,
so
but
I can,
what's that coming off there?
that would be dirt and metal.
Oxidation.
Yeah.
Okay, so then if we take and wipe that off, you know, of course we could go get a metal polish, but you know, I have this right by my hand. So, so all of a sudden it's the best metal polish I have. And boom, it looks like it's brand new again. I do need to finish the whole thing.
Kirby Thompson, since you are working and doing one thing, I'm going to turn around and add this to the broadcast. Will you be covering engine cleaning during the class in September?
Yeah, I always cover both. In my classes, I cover cosmetic engine detailing and wet wash engine detailing. And I bring in cars that are, you know, for the wet wash, I try to get something that's just incredibly dirty. Okay. Let me wipe that off.
And yes, Rick, the one kit and one step in the glass cleaner is a survival kit.
It would seem that way, huh?
At least in Mike's world, it is a survival kit. It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife products.
Okay, I can take this towel out now. We're done.
And that's another thing, always count your towels that you're putting into places and count your towels when you pull them back out.
That is a good tip. I rely on my memory.
And how well is that?
Not very good. Okay, hold on.
Oh, God, give me a break.
Oh, yeah, that is a mirror finish. Okay,
Oh,
so,
cheesy.
hey, again, I had it next to me.
You have your two towels down in the intake?
Yeah. Yep, we can pull that off. What
No,
I'm gonna
the
spray
other two.
Yep.
See?
Because I'm going to need these. Okay, so now that I got this clean, the next thing I would do is I just want to put something on and make it look beautiful. In my personal preference, I don't like things that are tacky or sticky, so they got to dry to the touch, because otherwise they become a dirt magnet and they accelerate the grime buildup. Okay, so that's where I have this product here. And I actually have this product in an atomizer bottle.
Oh.
You want me to go get it?
Where is it?
You couldn't find it. I have to walk out there and get it.
Well, just use it that way.
It's a really cool bottle. We sell here at Autogeek. You pour anything in there and it just creates the finest mist. And
Okay, you already done pumped it up. All right, quick. Go get it.
Okay, I'll go get it.
All right.
And I have this stuff in there because that's how I use it. I forgot about it.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in here on the handiwork that we did. while Mike runs. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I just see Marcos, I'm not even going to, Desipris, I think is your last name, from Athens. You know, I love that you guys are tuning in all over the world. That is just absolutely amazing that we're reaching you guys. Well, let's put it this way. I'm very humbled that we're reaching you guys.
Here we go.
Okay, hold on. Let me zoom in. All right. This, again, is not on the description because Mike just pulled it out.
Watch how this thing atomizes.
All right, hold on,
stuff,
hold on.
Ready?
Yep. Oh, wow. And it's a long pull.
I mean, it really does a fabulous job.
Oh, and it's a continuous.
Yeah.
Hey, where have you been hiding that? I didn't even know we had
Andre
that.
showed this to me, and he actually says, Mike, can you find a use for this thing? And like the next weekend, I was using this stuff, and I go, what the hell? Let me give it a try. So I just go, wow, this is awesome. But because it does such a good job of atomizing, it enables you to use less products so you get more bang for your buck. Okay, so what was that, like less than 10 sprays? Okay, now.
I'm right on top of the engine.
Back to my favorite brush. Okay, so I could wipe this off, but what I want to do is I want to come in here and just kind of work it in. And normally what you want to do is...
Just make sure everything's covered.
Anything, well, this ain't going to hurt nothing, but...
No, make everything covered with the product you just put
Oh,
on.
yeah. But what I wanted to say was when you're done, go wash your brushes.
The product that you had in there was the black label vinyl and leather?
It's called leather vinyl coating.
All right, Rick, that was the product that was in there.
Okay, so brush to just agitate this and get it into everywhere. And I'm going to give a little shout out to Dylan Von Kleist over there at Rupes. Years and years and years ago, I saw Dylan when he was still at Adams make this video. And at the time, and I'm going to be real...
I'll finish this side.
At the time, and I'm gonna be real honest here, I kind of thought, what a cheesy video, you know? And the reason I thought that was because it wasn't real deep. It wasn't like really complicated stuff.
It wasn't your style.
Yeah, well, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the deep things, the detailing. Here's what it was. He was talking about cleaning your brushes after you're done detailing the car. And he's sitting out here on the pavement with the water hose and a bunch of brushes, and he's hosing them all off. And then fast forward years later, when I come down here to use a brush and my coworkers like Yancy use them before me.
Hey, I clean my brushes. No.
My coworkers besides Yancy use the brushes for things like this and then don't wash them. They just put them back on the brush cart, and then I go to get them and they're full of some kind of gunk. Who knows what it is? And so now before I can use the brush, I've got to clean it. So one of the things I do in all my classes is I teach people to clean your tools.
Hey, like my dad always told me, take care of your tools and your tools will take care of you.
Now, let me also share something. That brush there was clean when we started, and now it has the Pinnacle black label leather vinyl coating on it. Okay, this, what did this have on it, remember?
That had the glass cleaner.
Had a cleaner on it. So think about it. Do you think I actually even need to add any cleaner to it? No. All I got to do is get this to water. It's got the cleaner already on it. Half my work is done. Now this one here, this is not a water-soluble product. This will take some work. But usually what I do is when no one's around, I go to the facilities, the bathroom, and I just take the hand soap, pump, scrub, rub. I mean, it isn't too picky what breaks it down. It's a good idea not to, I can tell which one is which. Okay, so then at this point, now I want to get rid of the excess. So back to a fluffy microfiber towel. And I'm going to use the fluffy side.
You do that side, I'll do this side.
Yep, and just start wiping everything down. If you get it on the paint, it won't hurt nothing.
All right, let me...
But, you know, the honest truth is, I mean, you can use anything. A lot of times in my classes, whatever I'm showing for vinyl on the interior, we'll use on the engine compartment. It could be 303, it could be a Pinnacle product, Blackfire. Again, Meguiar's M40, been around for, gosh, I think that product came out in the 1970s. Still around today. Formula is changed. You know, Meguiar's is really good about updating formulas as new technology becomes available.
And regulations tighten.
And regulations tighten, yeah. That's a good way to
forget
put
about
that.
the government stepping in.
But am I right? Look how nice that looks.
It's definitely night and day from what it was.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do this.
We will.
You got to do that other. All right.
Doing the bottom part first. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to really try to wipe off as much as you can. And then the next thing you want to do, take a guess, Yancy, what is that?
Turn around and tell Yancy to get to work on the things.
No, what you can't wipe out, you want to blow out, okay?
Now, since you said that, wouldn't it have been wise to first come in with air and blow out all the dust?
I talked about it.
Did you talk about it?
Yeah, I talked about it. There wasn't much in here, but yeah, definitely the first thing you do is blow everything out. Well, the thing about it is, if you think about it, and I've thought about this.
Once or twice?
If you go to a parking lot, say you're going to a grocery store or a big box store, you know, the big parking lots, they put trees at the end of all the parking spaces. So you park there, then all the leaves fall into the engine compartment.
Man, I got a little place right where where the wipers go in. I mean, they are like all wrapped around in there. It's a bitch.
They're the culprit for all the pine needles and leaves in your engine compartment, is parking spaces. Okay, so back to the Sidekick. Turn this on. And then just blow everything out. And it just disappears. You ever seen this? There's this movie with Jack Black in it. And he invented this product to make dog poo disappear.
Oh, that was Envy.
Vapo
Vapopoo or something like that.
Vapopoo or something. And
talking about
Ben Stiller was in that movie, and he said, yeah, but where does it go? And Jack Black goes, it doesn't matter. It's gone. And it's like, of course, Jack Black got rich, and Ben Stiller got poor. Or he never got rich because he's too focused on where did it go. Same thing here. I don't really care where it goes.
You heard it here. He doesn't care where the poo goes.
You want to get that side a little bit?
Yeah, you just ruined it. Now every time I see you out there, I'm just going to be like, he doesn't care where the poo goes.
Well, remember my slogan? It's not my car.
It's not my car.
It's not my car.
Here, hold on. I'll come around.
Okay, there you go. Anyway, quick, fast, down and dirty. It looks a million. This thing looks like someone's been taking care of it since it left the showroom floor.
Actually, it probably looks better than the showroom floor.
Yeah, it looks good. Okay, let me see. Can you hand me another blue towel out of there? Grab a little blue towel. Grab a stack of those things. There you go. Just throw them up here in this mess.
All right.
Okay.
All right, what are you doing
Since
now?
we can't think of the name of this bottle, we'll just give credit to Andre. It's the Andre bottle. If you want the Andre bottle, call up Autogeek, say, hey.
Andre Atomizer 27 2.0 model.
I'm thinking someone out there is watching this and going, I've got a great idea for a product to pour in there that needs to be atomized. You know what works good is for any spray detailer.
I was just thinking, people probably are thinking, bead maker's in there.
Bead maker would be a great product to put in here, but it does such a good job of atomizing. I think it comes from the cosmetic industry.
I wouldn't doubt it. It looks like a very cosmetic.
Okay, so I put the same thing, the Pinnacle black label leather vinyl coating on this piece of plastic here. Look how nice
There's a spot that you missed right in the middle where it V's on the very top. On top. Right in there.
Get
Still
it?
missed it. No, it's right where it goes onto the installation. Standing out like a sore thumb.
Get it?
No, you might not be able to
I can't see it from my angle. So.
All right, hold on, let me zoom out.
Okay, so that's the engine compartment. One thing, you know, we talked about this earlier when it's live TV, you forget things. When it comes to cleaning that mat, this is a brush made by Ragtop and Hearts. The Hearts company makes like 90% of all convertible tops. They co-engineered this. What makes it special is, again, kind of like the boar's hair brush, only this isn't pig hair, this is from a plastic pig. You've seen those before. Usually they're piggy banks, but this is one that had hair. Anyway, they take and they have a 2-inch bristle that's not too stiff, it's not too limp, and the ends are all flagged. And so this is for safely scrubbing canvas top without tearing the top up. And for the same reason, it'd be a great product to use to agitate or clean the sound deadening mat under your hood. So
did you already put stuff up on there? Oh yeah, you did.
Nope, that's the next thing. Okay, so once we're done with the interior here, the engine compartment.
Oh, you need to cover back up.
Well, one more thing.
Wait, there's more.
303 rubber seal protectant. Okay, so this is the stuff that's made for EPDM
Oh, I forgot
rubber.
you were going to show this.
And now this comes with something that's kind of cool. It's a little.
Hold on. Let me get in there. Let me focus. There it is.
It's kind of like the old shoe polishes, even though I never used a shoe polish. But you put it down on there like that, and you push down on it. It releases some product, and then you take and you rub it in. But for me, and Sonax has a product like this too, this doesn't really work good for gaskets around the door, around the hatchback, or the engine compartment. What really works better is a piece of terry cloth like this. And so what I do...
Would you call them scrappy doos?
Scrappy doos, yeah. So what I do is kind of, remember when we were doing the tire coating class? Yep. I take a Dixie cup. Still called Dixie cups, right?
Would that be good for Alcantara?
No, Alcantara, you want to use products made specifically for Alcantara. By the way, this has Alcantara insets. We should make a video on how to clean this stuff while the car's here.
Hey, my Scat has it too.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, so then what I do is I just take the little spongy dauber off.
I love your technical terms. Scrappy doos and spongy daubers.
And pour some of this in here.
And you're not putting a lot.
No, not a lot, because it's real easy to spill this and I waste all my expensive, or probably not expensive, but my stuff. Then I just take a piece of terry cloth towel and I put it in there, let it soak some of that up. And now I take and use this to apply and work that product into that gasket. And this will keep it from dry rotting, from cracking. It'll keep the flexibility there so it actually does what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to seal against the hood.
Now, question. You're using terry cloth. Why would you not use microfiber, or could you use microfiber?
Well, you could, but I keep...
You have, just because you have spare rags, you just...
I always keep just these scrappy terry cloth towels around, and then I take and cut one up, and as I need a new piece, I cut a new piece. I don't cut up my... Usually my microfiber towels cost more. This is like Bag of Rags. And the thing about...
Rags.
Yeah, it's a brand name, Bag of Rags. But the point is terry cloth, because the fibers are a little more coarse, gives it a little bit of scrubbing, a little cleaning power just by itself.
Okay, makes sense. I just was curious.
I'm always using these little pieces like this. That's why they're always around the garage here, little pieces of terry cloth. I wish we sold scrappy terry cloth towels in the store, because they should be a part of everybody's detailing arsenal. There you go. Excuse me.
Might be because you can go get a bag of them for like $2 at a Dollar General.
That's probably why. Yeah, Lowe's carries them, paint stores carry them. Then come back and wipe off the excess. And, pulling.
Oops, sorry. I was looking at your handiwork. Hold on. All right, right there.
So we loosened up some gunge and then pulled it off.
And mind you, we did scrub over that just a little bit with the other cleaners. But it's just, more places that you're going to find dirt, because we didn't go up underneath the edge like he's doing there.
I'd say this is probably one of the most commonly missed areas on a car detail, is the gaskets around the door.
I think people are afraid to do them.
The trunk lid, the engine, hatchback if you got an SUV. They're just not missed. And the way I would approach this is one of two ways. If you do this, if it's your own car, you should just do it once in a while. Preventative maintenance, do it before the gasket needs it. And two, if you do this for money, you could build this into an interior detail package, or you could offer it as a standalone package. Door seal, cleaning and conditioning and protecting.
Now, question for you. If you're doing this by yourself, all right, this is my car, I want it to last, what regiment? Every month, every 2 months, every 3 months?
For the gasket here?
Yeah.
Oh, once a year.
Once a year? Okay.
Yeah, it's not a crucial thing. Like
once or twice a year.
The rubber's, but it's just something that should be attended to at least some point, I would say the driver's seat of a car once a month.
Okay.
You know, we talked about things wearing off because your pants slide in, your arms, your backs, you're hitting whatever you put on there's being abraded off. The other seats and components of the car last a long time, but the thing anything you touch is going to microabrade the surface off. Anyway, so that's how I would approach that, though.
All right, you guys that are looking for the atomizer on the site, I'll make sure I'll try to find it up on there.
And then make sure you put the lid back on there.
Put the little doppy-doo back in.
Yeah, so you don't spill it and waste everything. Okay, so we've covered cosmetic engine detailing. It's for when cars aren't too dirty and for any new car where you can't even see the motor. You can use any kind of cleaner, you know, as long as it has the ability to cut light oil film, even water would. I never use water, but a waterless wash, a spray detailer. My favorite's the glass cleaner. And then find a dressing that you like already, you probably already have, and just spread it around, work it in with the brush, and then wipe the rest off, then blow any excess out of the cracks and crevices so you have this nice, detailed, highly detailed looking engine compartment. Okay, so we left off with this up here drying. So let me show you the next thing, and Yancy, I'll need your help here.
All right, coming in.
So this is the thing that I started teaching in my classes because, you know, a lot of guys have made a video on how to clean that. I'm going to show you how to protect it, and that'll make future cleaning, I love this term, fast and easy. Now, since we clean the engine compartment, you know,
we don't want to get it dirty again.
We don't want to get the overspray on it. Wouldn't hurt nothing, but, you know.
Why work twice?
Yeah, well, I don't want to go back and clean the engine compartment. Okay, so now that I've got this covered up, this is my secret for protecting the fiber or this matte surface in here. It's the Ragtop fabric protectant, and it creates and makes a waterproof surface, and it also tends to make it look a little crisper, like it's brand new.
Crisper.
Even better than new. And there's a lot of these products on the market that are spray trigger. You know, you got to pump a trigger, but that's what's cool about this for doing the inside of a hood, because it's at an angle. It's aerosolized, and a lot of times when you go to buy this, at least from Autogeek, it comes with this thing called the Can Gun 1.
Hold on, let me get it on. Actually, you're going to put it on?
Yeah, I'll put it on. And I teach convertible top cleaning in my classes, so I'm fairly proficient at showing the benefits and features of this thing. So this thing slides on, but the one thing you want to do is make sure, see the spray nozzle there?
It's pointing at you.
Make sure it's pointing at the out part of the handle here, or you'll fill up the handle with your expensive Ragtop. A little shout out there to Rick Goldstein, the president, CEO, founder, and owner of Ragtop. You make a great product, buddy. And he's a big supporter of the IDA and an all-around nice guy and an expert competitive barbecuer of all things.
Do you owe him money?
I
mean,
do
that was like a...
No, but after that plug, he owes me some dinner. Okay, so then usually 8 to 10 inches away and just a fanning motion. And if you're a pro rattle canner like yours truly here, notice I don't just pull it and leave it. You come up to the end and let off, then you pull it as you fan back in. That way you don't put tons of overspray at the end of all your strokes.
And if it does get on paint, it wipes right off.
Oh,
it doesn't
same thing
do
on
anything.
on the outside of the car, you can't help but get it on the paint and the glass. You just wipe it off. And normally a couple of good solid coats on here.
And you see that it's not like dripping wet, as you can see where I'm at. Just dusting. Take it, you're gonna want me to finish the other side over here? Or can you get it? No, you can't get it all. I'll come in and I'll grab the can from you.
The aerosolized spray also helps to get into all the patterns there. Here you go, let me get that side. And literally, you could, after 24 hours, you could spray water at that and it would just dribble right off.
I feel like I'm back in my garage painting motorcycle tins again.
And then one of the techniques I always show for fabric tops is instead of letting that stuff just sit there, it looks like morning dew, you know, on the grass or leaves or on your car.
Here, let me zoom in, that way they can see, then I'll come over and I'll do my side.
Put a glove on. One of the things that Rick told me about this product is it contains sebatanuven. I don't know what it is, but I don't want it in me, so put on some gloves. Well, I know what it is. It's the most costly UV protectant money can buy. Okay, so then after you've sprayed that on, just take and just kind of massage it in. Don't let it just sit there. Push it into the weave. It'll dry, have a nice uniform appearance.
Now, I have a question for you. Could you use that brush to do that? Or
You could, but
why?
This rubber is impermeable interface, so I
so
think
you're not going to be sucking it back up?
it's not going to go into the glove, and it's just going to do a better job of pushing it. You can see I'm pushing it into the mat there.
I am going to come in, glove up, then I'll put this side on.
I would let this dry, then I'd put a second coat on.
I bet this sounds really good in your guys' ears out there.
Okay. And then wipe off any excess off the paint.
Done.
Can you get the other side of this air intake?
I will take this off of the hood.
There. I don't know. This is all really easy work. I tell you, this is the kind of work you want to do. You really don't want the engine compartment that has never been cleaned. It'll take you hours to do. So,
was that Jim down the street?
Jim down the street. Well, here's one of the things that I always
Or you
like
charge accordingly, one of the two.
Well, let me just do a little plug for Rennie Doyle's book. He's got a book, How to Start a Part-Time Detailing Business. I have 3 or 4 sections in there where he asked me to share some of my experiences in his book. And one of them was, Mike, if you had to do things over again, what would you change? I love that question. So when you're first starting out, and this would describe me, I needed to feed my family, I detailed anything. You call me on the phone, yeah, I'm detailing it. It pulls into my shop, I'm detailing it. I needed the money. As you rise up economically to the point where now you start kind of picking and choosing your work, someone calls you up and says, hey, I got this engine compartment, it's really bad. It needs to be cleaned. As soon as they said the word needs, flag goes up. Engine compartments can be kind of tricky to do because the last thing you want to do is mess with any of the sensors, any electronics that are in there, and force the check engine light to come on. So anything that looks like it may be difficult, if you don't need the money, send it on down the line.
Hard thing to learn is how to say no.
Just say no. But here's how you do it. You got to do it the right way. You say, man, I'd love to do that, but my schedule's full. But my friend Jim, he's really good at engine compartments. Here's his number. Give him a call. And you can use Jim, the detailer, for all kinds of things that you don't want to do.
Mike does it, and Mike does it.
But anyway, that's how I would tackle that. Is I call it the learned art of turning work down.
That was one of the hardest things when I started off with my own business, doing graphic and video work. I mean, that was the hardest thing, telling everybody no. It was like, I need the money.
Okay, so now here's a couple more things you want to do before you're done. If you're doing this for a customer, the next thing you want to do is 2 things. 1, turn the engine on and let it run. So remember when we sprayed the air in there and kind of forced any of the Pinnacle Black Label leather vinyl coating that we couldn't wipe up, we sprayed it so we couldn't see it any longer. Correct. That got deposited down there somewhere. Turn the engine on, let it heat up, it'll burn it off. And the thing is then you'll smell the scent, the smoke, the odor, the customer won't, okay? So burn that stuff off before the customer ever turns the key on. And of course, if it's your car, you want to do the same thing. And then the other thing is you just want to make sure the check engine light comes in. Now, the other day ago, I watched a video. There's a young man in there talking about how to do cosmetic engines, and he shared my secret technique. My secret technique is in my classes, it's kind of corny, but sometimes that's what makes things fun, is before we hit the key, I have everybody do my secret technique, and that is cross your fingers, okay? Then hit the key, and in all the years I've been teaching engine detailing, I've never had a check engine light come on. I've never had the motor fire up and run like this, missing, but it all comes down to crossing your fingers. But then close the hood, and here's what's gonna happen on a conventional motor like this, usually, well, not this one, I don't see a fan.
There's a fan down there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there it is. There's the fan. Well, some street rods you work on, they have
old blade
electric
fans.
water pumps.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going.
So there's no fan. Or there's a fan.
No, there is a fan.
There's a fan.
Everybody has a fan.
Well, here's what you want the fan to do.
One's attached to the motor, one is not attached to the motor.
There you go. Yeah, they have. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Okay, but here's what you want to do. You want to turn the engine on, close the hood, and let the engine heat and the circulating air completely dry it all out. And when we do our next wet wash engine detail, I'll show you how important this is.
Okay.
So, do you want to do that part while I stand here?
What? Start it?
Start the engine and tell me if the check engine light comes on.
Yeah, I can do that. I think I have the keys over here.
Ready to cross her fingers.
And hopefully the alarm isn't on.
And hopefully she starts. Ah, sounds good. No check engine light.
No check engine light, but all the oil pressure and all the other lights that lit up like a Christmas tree in there.
Okay, so that's kind of what this live detailing class will be about, cosmetic engine detailing, the order in which to do things. I think it just does that once.
Does it?
And, use quality products. I showed a bunch of brands on here I trust, but there's a lot of great brands out there that'll do the same thing.
We're done with everything,
the
right?
good news is Autogeek carries almost all of them. What's that now?
You're done with everything. I can go through, start looking through the questions and stuff?
Yep.
Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me get a little different framing here. Oh, look at all the towels that we used too.
Look at a mess we made.
I mean, don't go into this thinking you're only going to use one rag. Oh, look at it. It made its appearance. We need to put a happy face on that. It keeps on popping in everywhere.
Always have your clean, dirty towel bucket around.
All right, you going to hang out right there?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to frame you like this. Okay, where am I? I am right. Oh, hey, here I am. All right, countdown, very much before, Wow, you guys must not have had very many questions.
It's a pretty simple topic.
Yeah, perfect for, there's Kirby Thompson, great sidekick blower is perfect for this and exterior crevices, plus motorcycles. I use it for my motorcycle all the time. I'm looking for
it's good for interiors.
Oh, okay, here's a good one. Yeah, good for interiors too. Josh and Sarah Lee. Do you guys make cookies? I'm looking at an extensive engine bay wash next. Is Iron X the engine bay in an engine bay a good idea?
You might want to be careful if there's any kind of polished metals in there, like it's a fancy, exotic, But I would say no. But you know what? I don't know if I'd see a reason to use it. I would go with an engine degreaser.
Yeah.
First thing I'd use.
I can tell you this on a motorcycle. I was using it on my brake rotors on my motorcycle. Then I accidentally squirted as I went by.
Yeah.
Because I went to grab something in my hand. But anyways, long story short, I got it on my wrapped headers. Oh my God, it smelled like a week. Because it got into that material. It was so bad.
Iron removers are great products. I use them all the time. To be honest, I don't. It's not that they wouldn't find iron in the engine compartment and dissolve it. That's the color changing effect. I just don't know if I see a great benefit from that when putting an engine degreaser in there and scrubbing with the brush is going to probably do the same thing.
Yeah, it's going to remove everything. It's at least loosen it up and wash it off.
In my classes, by the way, I always show the Sonax engine degreaser. The primary reason is it comes pre-mixed. You don't got to worry about dilution, so no one makes a mistake with it, especially in a class setting. And the other reason why is because I have yet to find a Sonax product that hurts anything. I mean, they really put a lot of...
They strived on that over there. I remember them talking about it. They always want to make sure that the users are safe.
Yeah, they foolproof it, so pretty much you can't hurt anything with it. And when you're teaching a class on engine detailing, the last thing you want to do is try to give back the owner their car, and there's a problem. So I like to use and show products that are really safe. Effective is good too, but safe is the key.
All right, now that we're on, you kind of led into my next question here. Jamie Carey, is the glass cleaner available in a gallon? I do believe those are available in a gallon.
I don't know that.
We'd have to check the site, but I think they are.
We carry it here. It's metric, but it's a jug about this. It's like a 5-gallon jug.
Yeah.
So is that 5,000 milliliters?
Nice.
I'm
on the, what do you call it, the American version.
U.S. standard. So here's what I do. Because I go through so much of the glass cleaner, I do buy the big jugs, and I keep all my bottles and refill them for my classes, because my class uses this product. And in my class, here's the general rule of thumb. If there's 10 people, everybody has their own bottle. Nobody stands around and waits for someone to get done so that you can pass it around. If there's 20 people, there's 20 bottles. Look at all the tools. If there's 20 people and we're using the Bigfoot 21, everybody has a Bigfoot 21. So the last thing I ever want to happen in one of my detailing classes is
get bored and be
after I
handed.
clap my hands, and those of you that have been in my class, you know what that means. We get to work. When I clap my hands, I don't want someone walking up to me and saying, hey, I didn't get a blank. There's always something for everybody in my class. There's no one standing around like this with their hands in their pocket. Everybody's on their car, working on the car. Tool in hand, chemical in hand.
All right, we're talking about paint here. I think we went over that.
My next class coming up, by the way, is in September, as long as COVID-19 does not cancel it. It's at the end. It's always the same time every year, the last weekend of September. It's a 3-day class. I cover all the tools on the market, plus a dedicated day for wet sanding. And in my wet sanding class, instead of working on a hood, I bring in the real deal, usually a street rod that has a fresh paint job. Because it's easy to stand there and sand and buff on a hood. That's easy. I got hoods. I used to teach that.
Yeah, I remember.
But now I just bring in the real deal. I bring in a real street rod. I got enough friends in the car industry here that there's usually someone getting a car coming out of a body shop a couple weeks before my class, so the paint's had time to shift, dry, set up, stretch, and shift, and it's ready to be sanded and buffed. And see, sanding on a hood is good. Don't get me wrong, that's great. But when you got to start working around body lines because the hood is connected to the body next to the fender, or around door handles and mirrors, all of a sudden it starts to have a lot more impact. And it's the real deal wet sanding class on my 3rd day of my 3-day class.
Okay, I'm going down. Michael Boncell. I do believe that we mentioned this on there, but we will do a dedicated leather and Alcantara video, because that is a popular subject. Yeah. So we will get back to you. Just tune in, and we will have a dedicated Alcantara.
What works best for those is a convertible, so we can bring the camera in.
Yeah.
You can see the
Or maybe I'll have my wireless by then.
Yeah, so usually convertibles work the best for convertible topics.
Oh, hey, Richard Ralph. Richard Ralph, thank you for clarifying that. Thank you guys from a Corvette C7 owner. By the way, that skull on the Corvette Racing logo is called Jake. That is Jake.
Jake.
Everybody meet Jake.
Was it Ralph? What was his first name?
What now?
What was his first name?
Oh, Richard Ralph.
Richard, did you see the video where I showed how to machine polish Jake?
You gave Jake a face.
This thing came in. One of the things I did is the graphics here were completely swirled out with scratches and marring. Yeah. And so I showed everybody how to take the Pixie and actually machine scrub vinyl graphics and pull all the swirls out.
There's
I made it, what was it, Friday, I think.
Yeah, it's on the Autogeek Facebook page.
So it's brand new. And the key thing about that, and we also did it about 2 weeks ago on a Shelby GT350 Mustang. Yep. The blue stripes on there were all scratched up, so we machine polished them. And the thing about that is you've got to use great abrasive technology. Whatever is that abrasive technology, it can't be removing a defect while at the same time putting its own in, or you're working backwards. So it starts with great abrasive technology, and then of course stick with foam pads and a free spinning random orbital polisher. You got those 3 things into play, and you probably have good luck. But I ran the polisher right over the matte graphics too, which I think surprised a lot of people. And here's what it did: it cleaned it up. Yeah. And then of course I put a matte coating on.
As long as you're not like going to town, it shouldn't do too
much.
Yeah,
light touch. But I mean, this thing was a swirled out, scratched up mess.
Jake was bad.
Jake did not look good.
Well, if you knew PJ, then you know why Jake was bad.
Actually, this car's been repainted. This whole side over here has been repainted, and they got overspray
because
on.
PJ was bad.
Yeah, exactly.
You caught me off guard going through here reading you guys' comments on this one. I just thought was hilarious. Yancy, did you oversprayed your mustache with the glass Sonax cleaner and it fell off, or what's up? Yeah, this is the clean me. I just reading through looking for questions. All of a sudden, my mustache fell off. Are you still doing roadshow classes as of right now? No,
nope.
Due to COVID. Just stay tuned. We will let you know.
Let me comment on that. The company would love if we could do the roadshow class, but here's the thing. If you've ever seen any of the pictures of the roadshow class, I pack 1 to 2 pallets, and we're talking pallets as high as you can go, full of tools, chemicals, pads, and microfiber towels. They weigh anywhere from 800 to 1,200 pounds. Because again, nobody stands around like this and watches me work on a hood in one of my classes. You use the tools. On my roadshow classes, we do 10 cars in 2 days. There's no time for sitting. People. But that requires shipping a lot of product someplace, and it's real risky to schedule a class, spend all the money to ship stuff there, and then not have anybody show up.
Oh, yeah, and especially right now.
So there's a lot of logistics that go into a roadshow class. That's why, for the most part, I think I'm the only one that does a real roadshow class. When I say real, I mean I ship out the tools so you can use them, not, hey, show up and we got a tool, let me show you how to work on a hood. You know, they're the real deal. The next best thing are my 3-day hands-on. Of course, that means you got to travel here, but they are the best detailing classes on planet Earth, in my humble opinion.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're good.
I'm just, all right, let's get through a couple more of these questions. Renardo Wilson, a little off topic, but can you use glass cleaner with clay mitts?
Yes.
Yes.
I almost always use the Sonax glass cleaner with both detailing clay, the towel, the mitts. If I'm using, the mitts. I don't use mitts that much. I use the towels.
Okay, here's another one. Sean De Rosa. How long can you wait? How long is the wait time until you place a second coat of fabric rag coat?
You want to let it dry. Good question. Yeah, let it dry. What if this was in a live video right now? I would take that air mover over there, and I would place it on this adjustable cart.
Right. Whoops, I'm pointing.
Yeah, I would take this air mover. This is a shop vac air mover. Every detailer should have one of these.
Yeah, you don't need to plug it in.
Yeah, I won't. And then I would put it on our adjustable tool cart here, lift it up, and blast that for like an hour, then come back and put the second coat on.
All right.
When I do convertible tops, I wash them the day before, and I turn that on and have it blowing out the car, let it sit overnight.
Okay. How can I? Rampus Infante. Wow, cool. I like your logo too. How can you watch the whole class again? Hit rewind. It'll be live here again on Autogeek Facebook on Mike's Facebook page, the Detailing 101 Facebook group, and also on YouTube.
Autogeek YouTube.
Yeah, as soon as this is done, I upload the file straight up into YouTube, so probably like 7 to 10 minutes later, it'll be up on YouTube. But if not, it'll be in replay right here on the Facebook page where you're seeing it right now. Richard Ralph, yes, that was excellent. So he did see you. Oh. He's ready to install a Jake graphic over my carbon fiber hood insert. Good job. Post pictures when you get it done. Graphic looks great with the coating. Mike does a good job. Thank you, Sean. That was another one. I taught him everything he knows. He taught me everything I know. So we just kind of like switch feet. Other than that, you guys want some goodies? You guys want some goodies? Here, I'm gonna.
Oh, the giveaway.
Yeah. Let's. Where are you going? Here, I'm gonna come over to you right there.
I'll make you some table space.
You're gonna make me some table. How do we want to do this? Oh, Renardo wants to know, this will be my last question. Was the wrap covered with a clear wrap, or is it just plain graphics?
Well, it's a cleared, the stripe here, this is a cleared vinyl graphic. So it's a gray metallic, but it's cleared over but it's not clear paint, it's clear vinyl over it. But it's actually a matrix. I love that word. It's not like something on it. It's the whole thing. I think is just one component.
Yeah. Well, they have a color, then they have a clear laminate on top of it.
The matte is sitting on top of that, but I machine polished both of them.
Okay. Yes, Yancy. Do not keep it to yourself. All right. Always learn something. Hi, Megan. All right, everybody. let's get me off of here and get me over there.
The thing about giving away products is you want to stick to the lower 48 states.
Yeah, no, we kind of, sorry people, but
YouTube
logistics.
and Facebook is worldwide, but the cost for us to ship something out of the 48 is
Well,
exuberant.
I can still give it away to people over on YouTube and all the other places, but you just got to live in continental United States.
Yeah.
All right, so we have, oh, I forgot my phone. A backing plate?
5-inch Lake Country backing
Here,
plate.
why don't you talk to them about the pads while I go grab my phone.
These are the Lake Country CCS pads. CCS stands for Collapsed Cell Structure. And there's these, let's pull one of these out of here. Let's pull one they can see the blue one probably. And what this is, and I'll tell you how it works. See the little divots here? I like that word?
Divots.
Divots, okay?
I like dimples.
Dimples is good too. I think, and we saw how this worked. We were at Lake Country. I think they got a machine that comes down and it's got these.
Like a heat press.
It's a heat. It heats it up.
Jason,
kind
Brennan,
of
if you're watching, or any of you guys from Lake Country, if you guys can
and
jump in there.
it puts these little divots or pockets in here.
And let me zoom in on that real quick.
And then the theory being is when you put product on here, some of it goes into the pocket, and as you're buffing, it dissipates, it comes out, enabling you to buff longer, get more use out of your product. And also because you've got reduced surface area, it buffs smoother. They actually have a patent for this. So it's, they call it a smart pad because it's a smart design. But anyway, that's called CCS pads.
Because they're smart guys when they designed it.
Collapsed cell structure. And we got, let's see, the yellow would be the most aggressive one here. Okay, so this is your yellow foam cutting pad. I think the orange is light cutting. Light cutting, yeah, light cutting. I always get confused on the blue and the green. What's that green one say?
This one's foam finishing, polishing finishing pad.
This is final polishing, so this is softer than that one.
So then white.
White polishing, and then black is finishing.
So you go in that order.
Yep.
All right, so, and then you also get a backing plate.
Yeah, and backing plates are wear items. They do wear out. You know what happens is the Velcro got little hooks, and over time the hooks, they straighten out and the pad quits sticking. So both sides of the hook wears out, the loop wears out. So if you got an old Porter cable and you haven't replaced the backing plate in 20 years, here's your chance.
There you go. Now, let's see here. My wife is calling.
She should know better.
She should know better. Brandy, what are you doing?
She wants to win the prize.
Is split. Oh, we must accidentally hit my camera. Sorry, remote to a certain point. Thank you, Nicole, for pointing that out. So how do we want to give these away? Should we ask a question about this whole video?
Yeah, a good question would be, what's the first step when doing an engine detail?
Okay. Post the comments down below. If you post your answer down below.
We covered it, but we didn't really show it.
Well, then we can't quite. Really
we covered it, though.
We did?
Yeah, we kind of covered it.
I can't go back and rewind and see.
Well,
Are you sure?
Yeah, the first step.
Oh.
Yeah, we showed it on the inside of the hood.
Yeah, they probably just heard it.
And we talked about it in engine bar.
And you might have just heard it right there. Oh, that was a plan coming together.
Hot mic.
Hot mic. So if you heard that, or if not, you remember what the very first step.
First one to post what the first step is on an engine detail.
Yeah. Well, I got 24 hours, and I'll do a Google random generator because I got to give the other people on the other social media a chance to get out. So tomorrow we'll announce that. Let's see here. At 4:30 tomorrow we'll announce the winner. Just remember, you got to live in the lower 48 states. I'm sorry for all you people that live in the other countries. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I wish I could send you stuff. It's just, I don't got the bankroll to do that. And I think management would kill me and him.
It gets complicated. Our heart's in the right place. It's just, it gets complicated.
Yeah.
So I like that, a Google random generator.
Yeah, you take all their names and then it does this little thing.
And you trust Google.
Yeah, well, it is Skynet. Cue the truck. That's our time to go.
Yeah.
We thank you for tuning in. Next week, we have a very special. Do we want to give it away? I think we should.
Yeah, we could tell.
Actually, it's really cool. Mike's going to have somebody in here. One of you guys out there that has been watching our classes, having some issues with his paint, So we invited him here, and he will be in here live, and we'll be fixing his car.
What it is, and it's a problem some people run across, is the problem with soft paint and how to finish out without micromarring. So he's got this black Cadillac CTS-V, supposed to be a special version of it. And he's tried a lot of different things. And
He said he has like test spots all over the car.
Yeah, test spots all over the car. He's trying to get to the coating. He wants to put a coating on it, but he keeps running into micromarring issues. And this is even sometimes a problem for yours truly, but I figured, you know, we got everything
here.
We got everything you could ever need to get soft paint flawless. So if anybody can do it, we can do it here. We're going to do it live on TV.
Yeah, so next week you will see one of you in here, which is, you know, that might be a really cool yearly contest. You know, if we can work in enough, we can get vendors fly in, then what do you call it? That'd be, I'm going to pitch that idea.
Ship your car in?
Well, that I can't help you with. If you want to take a road trip. Actually, I got a cool idea for a really cool contest. So other than that, that will be next week. Be sure to tune in because it is a commonly asked question. I know our Detail 101, you're on the forum, so I know that we get it asked quite a bit.
Micromarring on soft paint.
All right, so with that being done, I'm going to hit this button right here. We're going to say bye for now. And
next Tuesday, 3 o'clock.
And look. He does get spots. He does
every
splatter.
Tuesday, 3 o'clock, live detailing classes.
And you did splatter today, by the way. On film. Just gonna.
I got a cleaner for this.
No. What is it?
Glass cleaner.